So in the meantime, of course, all this is being done with the full support of the mainstream press, who have continued to attack many of the types of people that this infrastructure is there to spy upon. And so let's have a look at this Times article here from January the 21st. Hope Sussex School trains next generation of conspiracy theorists. I'm just going to pull a few quotes out of this before we ask Katie Jo for some comment. But it says a group of anti-vaccine activists and former members of the far right are running a school, in inverted commas, where children are being prepared to become the next generation of conspiracy theorists. The leaders of Hope Sussex are encouraging parents to remove their children from mainstream state education and send them to a school that Ofsted suspects is illegal, brackets not registered, while claiming to local authorities that the children are being home educated. Ofsted is understood to be investigating Hope Sussex, which it has reasonable grounds to suspect of running an illegal school, defined as a setting that is operating in an independent school but is not registered with the Department for Education. Hope Sussex was founded last year by Sadie Single, 44, and her husband Matthew, 51, both former members of the British National Party, says the Times, who were expelled in 2009 for leaking the names and details of thousands of party members online after an internal dispute. Before joining the BNP, Sadie had lived in Australia, where she was linked, it doesn't say how she was linked, to a neo-Nazi group, according to Hope Not Hate. It goes on to say she taught as a teacher for 9 years, but was understood to have left her job in 2021 because of her anti-vaccine activities. The couple set up the school with Katie Jo Murphin, 41, a dance instructor and mother of 3, who has described COVID-19 as a pandemic. So, Katie Jo, that I believe is the second attack from the Times in the last 2 or 3 weeks on Hope Sussex, or at least the previous article discussed Hope Sussex in the text of the article, but wasn't headlining. But you got a headline this time.
We got a headline this time. Yes, we've been featured in Vice twice, the Daily Mail, a local paper, and we've had the Daily Mail. They've been in contact with us again and said they're going to run another article. Yes, it's full of lies and fabrication. Really, the article it's ridiculous. There's so much content in there. I don't really know where to start, but I'll start with the fact that they're calling us an unregistered school. That's total nonsense. You've probably heard me time and time again say that we are not a school. We don't run anything like a school. We know exactly how we can and can't work within the system. We did have a visit from Ofsted a year ago. 2 Ronnies came down the drive with their body cams on and told us that they suspected we were running an illegal school, that they would like to come on with their body cams and film who was there, how many children we had. They've been watching children enter and leave. And we just basically calmly and very politely said to them, you are not coming on this site. It's private property and you don't have any right to come on, basically. So yeah, we are not under investigation at all. We haven't had any correspondence with them since that event, and they know that they don't have any right, basically, because we are not a school. We run as a community centre. We hire our venue out to independent tutors, and then home educating families and individuals book on through the tutor, and that's it. That's exactly how we operate. No children are on site on their own. They are always accompanied by a guardian, because the whole point of home education is that you are actively involved with that community and with your child's education. So it isn't a drop-off facility. And yeah, we run nothing like a school. So that's complete fallacy and lies. They came down the Thursday before the article came out. They sent a reporter to Nedfield, and we were shut that day. We didn't have anything going on. So they went up to the local shop to try and get some dirt on us. But what they didn't know is that we have a really good relationship with the people in the shop. We invite them to everything we do. They actually stock the light newspaper for us. And yeah, they tried to, ask them questions like, oh, do they involve the local community? And what do the local, there are some local people that aren't too happy with us. We did make a lot of noise at the festival. We actively went round and knocked on doors to apologise. We want to work with the local community. We don't want to become, a nuisance, but most of the time you don't know we're there. So she just said glowing things about us, but obviously none of that made the article.
I,
With regard, oh sorry, go on.
no, I was
There's
just
so
going to
much to
ask.
say.
I mean, with you've had quite a number of these attacks. Has that resulted in positive communications from the public, or has that resulted in aggressive communications from the public?
Well, I suppose the thing is anybody who's going to believe anything that's printed in the paper or that is coming to them through the screen of, from the mainstream media, if they're believing that, then they're not our sort of people anyway. We've had so much support from our community. Loads of emails, texts saying, I go with my heart, I go with my instinct, I do not follow what's printed. So, and we've even had anonymous emails as well. People know who we are. People know what we're all about. We have a child safeguarding policy in place. We have 2 designated safeguarding persons on site. We take that really, really seriously. And basically, the schools bill has been kicked out, and they're trying every single tool they have. And their biggest tool is the mainstream media. And so they're going to paint us in this terrible, terrible light to try and win people around and say, oh, this is, we definitely need this register. There's these terrible conspiracy academies out there. That's absolute nonsense. We do not teach the children conspiracy theories. We teach them critical thinking. We give them lots of different schools of thought and theories, and then we allow the children to make their own minds up. That's exactly what is not happening on our television screens and in our newspapers. It's one-sided.
Or in our mainstream schools.
Or in our mainstream schools, exactly. It's always one. Take the theory of life and the existence of planet Earth and the solar system. How many theories are there? Tons of theories, but it's always the Big Bang theory that is pushed in schools and mainstream. And we don't do that at Hope. We look at all different schools of thought, and in the class we have different children that come up with different. Some children do believe that the Big Bang theory is actually how the universe was created. Some believe, are more religious. Some are more spiritual. But that's good. There's debate. We talk about it. This is how we should be existing. This doesn't happen in mainstream schools anymore. It's crazy.
Katie Jo, my comment is you mentioned Ofsted, and my mind goes right back to the abuse of young teenagers in Oxford Cherwell Valley School, where, of course, when Ofsted was informed, they did nothing. They did nothing.
No, nothing.
But in your case, inspectors can arrive on the door very quickly. So, yeah, it's a biased system without question.
Yeah, totally biased. Ofsted do not care 1 ounce about your child. I will tell you that now. They do not care about your child and your child's well-being. All they care about is numbers, statistics. That's it. They don't care. So why would anybody want to operate in that system and want their children to be brought up in that system? I have no idea.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you for that.